My feral girl steps across gender lines and has become to me her own species. Out on our farm in summer, she runs shirtless in little boy boxer briefs, climbs to the top of our rusty swing set, and to me, she's just Eliza. But when I see her in a room full of other 6-year-old girls, I realize again, she's different. This is no newsflash to her. Eliza cultivates this difference without meaning to. A few weeks ago, I was sifting through Eliza's bag of Valentines and came across one that read, "I like you. You're a nice boy." The child who had written it is a friend of Eliza's, and I knew the sentiment came from a place of kindness, but I was still curious about what Eliza thought of it. "Hey, babe," I said, "what do you think of this Valentine from Isa?" Eliza beamed. "It's fine with me, Mama," she said, "because you know, I'm half-half. Half boy, half girl." And it's true. My daughter lives in a netherworld, somewhere between boy and girl. She plays rough, climbs trees, and digs in the ditch. She is the prince, the king, the dad, the older brother in any imaginary game. Most days she wears a baggy Star Wars t-shirt, long shorts that hang from her hips to below her knees, and a checkerboard pair of Vans. In summer, she wears a baseball cap, backwards. In winter, a fleece cap with her hair tucked inside. For the better part of kindergarten, she wore camo cargo pants with skull patches on the ripped knees and a black short-sleeved shirt that read, "I do my own stunts." "Boy," she told her classmates every time and without hesitation when they asked if she was a boy or a girl. She signed her name Cooper for most of that year and has since preferred the name Gerald and most recently Edward. As soon as Eliza was old enough to have an opinion, she traded pigtails for caps, skirts for nylon shorts, and sparkly sandals for light-up Spider-Man shoes. She's never been interested in playing fairies with the girls. Instead, she wants to snowboard, play hockey, and learn how to drop in at the skate park. Sometimes the girls look at her a little sideways, and sometimes the boys aren't interested in playing with her because she is actually a girl. They are first graders, and these things matter some days. In our society, we call girls like Eliza tomboys. As her mother, I can tell you, most days, she would simply prefer boy. Even half-half seems like a compromise. When Eliza was born, I never knew I could love someone as much as I loved her. I always wanted children. As a child, I tended dolls, carried cousins on my hip, and helped my neighbor make bottles for her baby on Saturday afternoons. By the time Eliza came along, we'd had a few false starts that ended in drives to the emergency room and months of sorting out why. So it was with deep gratitude that I held my baby in those early months. It's strange that I could not have known then that we'd be so deeply tied, because I'm sure that's when those bonds formed. My heartbeat and hers, tangled together in the early morning hours to create something beyond either of us, and we didn't even mean to. She is my first child, and sometimes she feels like an extension of me. She has the curve of my face, the color of my eyes. I feel what she feels, for better or worse. This is one part of motherhood that I didn't see coming. As Eliza has grown up, somehow everyday objects have suddenly turned into hazards all around me. She saw blocks. I saw sharp corners. She saw a bike. I saw scraped knees and elbows. She saw a skateboard. I saw a CT scan. And it's no different when I think of her emotional progression. But I know my spying every possible painful moment to come is no different than any other mother's worry. This child-raising business keeps us on the edge of our seats, ready to pounce, to defend, to protect. Recently at the park, I heard another mother talking to Eliza. "Oh, honey, I didn't know your name," she said. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were a girl." I was a little shocked to hear that Eliza had corrected the mother who had been calling her Buddy and he. Then I felt relieved. And then immediately, I felt terrible for feeling relieved. I want my daughter to be who she is, but I can't help but want to fold her into soft, downy wings and keep her from a world that might not be kind to a child who moves between genders, or a teenager who does, or a grown-up. This world does not expect us to be different, but here we are, nonetheless, tender, human, one not like the other. Gender creative, gender fluid, gender nonconforming. I suppose if we were to pick a label, all of these fit. As for other labels, gay, transgender, we can't speak to any of these yet because Eliza is a child. She's my child. Instead of searching for a label, I prefer to think of it this way. Eliza is who she is. We love who she is. And so far, so does she. My hope is to deliver her whole into adulthood, where she might marry a woman, choose to live as a man, or live as a traditional, gender-conforming girl simply trying to move through the world. Sometimes I lie awake, trying to sort out exactly how to do this, when Eliza makes her way to my bed, crawls into the warm sheets, and curls into me. In these quiet, night-lit moments, I tell her, "You're amazing. Don't forget that." The other night I whispered, "You're amazing," and before I could say the rest of my mantra, she chimed in a sleepy voice. "I won't ever forget that, Mama," she said. There we lay, soft-bellied, mother and child, until we both fell asleep.